Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host of the Grilling to Get Away podcast. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. This episode's awesome. We just got done talking about how we cooked our pig and 30 chickens for a private party that we did over the weekend. So, you know, we're going to dive right into it, and we're going to talk about how we did it, some of the equipment that we used, how we set it up, and then the outcome. So we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to sharing this one with you all. And then just another reminder, we got our annual backyard barbecue competition coming up September 4th at Explorium Brew Pub in Greenfield, Wisconsin. Go out to burnpitbbq.com to check out our website, and then just search for the barbecue competition, BBQ Comp, and you'll find more information there. But right now, registration is $125. You'll get 4 racks of baby back ribs, and I think 3 pounds of sausage to cook up. We're going to have some guest judges. We're raising money for a nonprofit organization called Lift for the 22, which is a nonprofit that provides gym memberships to first responders, veterans, and their families. So, yeah, we're going to be out there again September 4th, and we'd love to see you out there compete with us and just have some fun and raise some money. So, other than that, let's jump right in and dive right into this cook that we just did over the weekend of a whole hog and 30 whole chickens. Oftentimes, life is demanding, stressful, and just won't stop. When needing to take a break, we like to light up the charcoal and crack open a cold one. The Grilling to Get Away podcast is an ongoing conversation about all things barbecue and grilling, from our backyard to yours. So if you sometimes don't know what the heck you're doing, if you like to learn, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, you're in the right spot. Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host of the Grilling to Get Away podcast. I'm here with my buddy.
What's happening, everyone? This is Ben.
Ben, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm fantastic.
Good. I know we spent a lot of time together this weekend.
Yeah,
Greg.
just can't get enough of each other, huh?
No. It'll be a busy next couple of weeks, too. So we'll, we'll be together, working together more days than we are apart.
Wow.
What a great problem to have. Hope you're as excited as I am.
It's everything I've ever dreamed of, Ben.
Yeah. I like where your perspective is.
Yeah, right.
That's good.
No, we spent a lot of time over the weekend getting away. I'm excited to talk about that. And we'll jump into that because I think this might be a longer episode because we've got a lot to go debrief from that.
Man, yeah. What a great day, huh? So we were I guess we'll dive into it, huh?
Yeah, let's jump in.
I don't think I really cooked anything else. I think my main focus was really just kind of getting into this event.
Yeah.
Might have done burgers or something quick or simple. I don't even know, Greg. I don't remember. Nothing that stood out. Okay, so
right. No, this was the big thing.
This was definitely.
Why don't you set the scene for the audience, Ben?
Yeah. So my second grade teacher reached out.
Your
to us.
Second grade teacher?
Sorry, my daughter. My daughter's second grade teacher. It wasn't mine.
You're not the brightest crayon, but I didn't.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting out of there. But no, so my daughter's second grade teacher reached out. She actually knew you first.
She did, yeah. I didn't know that until we pulled up, and she's like, "Hey, which one of you went to, Hale High School?" I was like, "Oh, that was me."
Wasn't me.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
No, yeah, it was a small world. I went to high school with her cousin. We actually hung out in like the same crowds and stuff, and I didn't know that till we rolled up.
Yeah. Well, worked out great. Luckily you, luckily you weren't too big of a jerk back then.
Yeah, Ben's always asking, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, anybody asks me, like, they come up like, "Oh, do you know Greg?" I'm like, "Well, it depends. Does he owe you money?"
Right.
What am I jumping into here?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I always got your back. Don't worry.
Good. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So she reached out to us. Her son was a senior this past year, just recently graduated, and asked if we would be willing to do a pig roast for his graduation party. And we got to talking, and doing the pig roast, Greg, it's it only goes so far. So we ended up doing about 75-pound pig.
Yep.
And 30 chickens.
Yep.
And the kicker, 15 pounds of baked beans.
You love those baked beans.
You can never have enough.
You can never have enough. That's what I always say.
So
yeah,
we it was a great day. temp was awesome outside. Like the weather was low 70s, nice breeze,
blue skies.
God, just
you couldn't ask for a better day.
no, seriously, it was perfect. So we got everything from the butcher block, which is right here local to Oak Creek. And Greg, so I mean, they were literally one street up from the butcher block, and I didn't know that until we were heading to their house. I was like, oh well, that would have been easier. But we ended up doing most of the cooking at my house, which was I think a lot easier. You know, we had all of our stuff there, and just kind of helped us get ready, I guess, for the day, right? So
we're doing this pig roast.
Yeah,
there was a lot of prep that went into that. Like you had a lot of conversations about, okay, how many people are there going to be?
Yeah. So they were expecting 150 to 200 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was quite that many, but I'm sure they probably touched 100. Give or take.
Well, I mean, we were only there until, after, dinner service. I'm sure people were still streaming in throughout the rest of the evening and night.
I'm sure, hopefully, because they had, when we left, they still had quite a bit left. And
there were more people pulling in.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of high school kids coming through, which was cool. And hopefully they came with some appetite. So, for beans. Appetite for beans.
So, as you were talking about, like, how to prep and, like, how much food to get, did you go like a general rule of thumb? Did you talk with Doug over at the butcher block to say, hey, this is how many people we're expecting? What would you suggest? How do you go about doing that?
Yeah. So, again, I can't say enough great things about the people over at the butcher block between, Doug, Denise, Crystal. I mean, they do have a fantastic staff.
That's Oak Creek, Wisconsin, the
butcher block. Check it out. They, I worked with Doug on it quite a bit. Because there's a lot involved, Greg. With us starting to cook this pig at the house, we had to transport it over to their house.
Yeah.
And then we cooked all the chickens at their house. So
a lot of moving pieces on this one.
Yeah. So talking to Doug, he's like, "Well, if you just lay this down in the back of your truck, the skin's gonna crack. Like it's so
yeah.
We had to figure out how to transport it and stuff. And when we first started kind of talking, we were just gonna do kind of the spits, right? So we had the last time, a year ago when we did our pig roast and stuff. It came in the the big like box almost, right? Like that was just the stand, and then you had the two arms that you put right up on top of that, and it just turned. And it was just one
rotisserie style spit. It just turned. It was just one,
just one, and so
one rotisserie. This one was a little bigger though.
This one was, yeah. So like I said, when I first started talking to Doug, we were just gonna do that one, and then we were gonna same thing that we used the last time, but then we were gonna do a couple like ground spits, so just for the chickens.
Yeah. And
so we were gonna have like 4 of these big giant, basically metal pans to cook these on and stuff. So luckily, I mean, it all worked out, right? But like we ended up, I talked to Doug a lot more. We got a trailer. He's like, maybe this would be better, which it was.
It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was great, man.
So the setup of this trailer was it had 3
almost like a triangle, right?
Rotisseries, yeah.
Yeah.
So it had one in the middle on top, and then 2 lower ones towards kind of the base of the trailer. Yeah. So we could do everything on just this one trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could, the way that we did it when we got to the house, the pig was, cooked fairly well, or we were getting to that point, and we just had charcoal on both sides and then one strip right down the middle. So the heat was awesome.
So big takeaway from that, at least from what I heard you say, Ben, was that ask a lot of questions. Like you have to walk through it with, people that maybe have some more experience with, like, this was actually like our first time. So we're not shy to say, like, we like to try stuff and do stuff. So this was our first time doing that many things at the same time.
And cooking for that many people.
We typically don't do, we've done some large scale stuff, but nothing like this.
Nothing like this, man. Yeah. No, I mean, we've put together a few, pulled porks together and done stuff like that. But yeah, nothing to this scale. And I think that's a great point, Greg. Like we, you and I talked about it a lot. Like, okay, how are we going to do this? Like,
we've been planning this in like a couple months.
Now. Yeah, I think we originally talked to them maybe February-ish. I think I set up a call with her, and we kind of went through it, and it was a lot of kind of back and forth, and really you and I talking, me talking to Doug, trying to make sure, like, okay, if we do this, how's that going to work? Do you think we could do it this way or this way? And even there were a few things too that came out like the morning of that just kind of made it better. So we still didn't have everything planned.
So Ben, it kind of sounds like, at least from what I'm hearing is that like you asked a lot of questions, you thought a lot about this before we actually kind of went out there and did it. So what are kind of your biggest takeaways from, going through the process of actually, talking with Doug and the people that we're cooking for, kind of, talk a little bit more about that process.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing was kind of having an idea of how many people we were going to have to cook for, right? Because it originally just started out with just the pig. And it quickly grew. Okay, yeah. Based on that. And they say with the pig, it's about, like a pound per person. Okay. And, I asked Doug that. And I mean, a pound of ham is a lot per person.
Is, yeah.
But again, when you're shredding it all up and stuff, I guess it's if you load up those Sammys, the sandwiches 1 to 2. I mean, I could see that, Greg.
Sure.
But so yeah, that was kind of a big thing. I think too, it helped like having us think about anything that could go wrong, right? Like let's kind of back into this and stuff. Let's think about like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna transport this? How are we gonna get this from A to B with us cooking it, starting it at the house, and then getting it over there? Like, what happens if it's raining? What happens if it's, how are we going to kind of navigate the things that are out of our control a bit, but like, let's be prepared for them. Right. So we had a lot, you and I just sat down and brainstormed a lot. Like, okay, sides. Are we going to do sides? Are we going to do, what all do we want to provide and stuff? And really talking to them and, making sure they were on board with everything. Like, hey, what does this sound good? This is kind of our thought process. Like, how does that sound to you guys? And again, I mean, Greg, there are even things like, the morning of like getting that big giant box, that we ended up putting the pig in. Yeah. Like, that wasn't part of the plan. That happened that morning.
And it worked perfect.
God, it was great. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about the transporting.
Once we get to that point.
Yeah, there is a few things like that came out that morning that we hadn't even, still we're kind of working out, right? So, but I think that we tried to kind of get everything to a point where like, okay, we're pretty confident in how we have it laid out. Yeah. There's going to be a few things that are just a game time decision.
They're going to pop up.
It just is what happens. It is, and we'll just
adjust.
You know what? Yeah, we'll make a pivot.
Yeah, from there. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think talking through those things really helps, especially ahead of time. You always try and want to maybe back into it. So you start, okay, what is kind of the estimated time that they want to eat at? And then you try and back into it and stuff. And even that, like we had to be a little bit flexible on it. But yeah, I mean, for me, it really helps. Like I try and really visualize, okay, once we get done with this step, what's the next step? How am I going to carry these things from this to this point? How are we going to transport this from this point? How are we going to cut up this piece? How are we going to serve it? So it really helps to kind of take a moment to visualize each step along the way to kind of, again, anticipate maybe some of those challenges that you might have or equipment that you might need.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Greg, it came even all the way down to like, I bought a new hitch for the truck. Yeah. Like, because, I asked Doug, like when he mentioned they had the trailer, it's like, okay, well, what size the ball? What size ball do we need and stuff? And the adapter on my truck is smaller. So it's only like an inch instead of like your traditional like 2-inch. And so I had to buy like another like adapter for like when we bought our camper. Yeah. And that slides in and then that hitch slides into that. So when I got there, Doug was like, "Oh, you don't have to buy a hitch. I have balls here." He's like, "Oh, but my adapter wouldn't fit in that." Yeah. So
see, like
it's just kind of these little things that
you're planning a barbecue, but you don't anticipate needing. You don't anticipate you're going to need a hitch, right? So those are things like as you go through it, like you're only going to learn by going through that process. Yeah, man. And hopefully, learning from us too, like by us going through that process and maybe making some mistakes. But
was there anything, Greg, that you thought like that we maybe didn't have that we should have had?
You mean in the prep or in the
when we got there, like during
when we got there?
Yeah, when we got to their house and stuff.
Oh man, if I could go back, I think one more table would have helped. Sure. We had 2 tables out there. I think some better tablecloths because we had.
We didn't use tablecloths.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so better ones.
Yeah, and ones in general.
Yeah, and I think we'll talk about how we transport it once we get there. Like once we took it out the spit and put it on the table, how we did that. Because I think that might be helpful for people. Mm-hmm. But other than that, maybe another set of gloves that insulated so we can rip up, faster. Yeah. And then, I really want one of those big. I think we should have got maybe I'll have to pick one of these up here soon, but like one of those chopping, the big chop knives, so I
Oh,
can
man.
start cutting
Just
up.
doof, doof.
Because we have
Yeah.
some really sharp knives that we were
Yeah.
cutting through, and some nice shears that were, for the chickens. But I just think a larger kind of knife to chop,
butcher
butcher
knife type, yeah.
to chop up some of that pig skin, then some of that cheek fat and stuff
Sure.
like that, because people are just pulling that off and eating it. But, just to chop that up, just a little bit, that would have
A
been
little bit
helpful.
quicker. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that probably would have made it a
Yeah.
little bit easier, especially the gloves. I
Yeah.
think, I swore it came with 2.
That's okay. Yeah, we got some of those Oklahoma Joes that came with the insulators, but they only come with one pair of insulators in the box. So
It's a heads up on that.
yeah, if you do that, they just come with one, but that's okay. We made it through.
We did, yeah. It was worked out, man. And they're nice gloves. They didn't, they didn't pull apart, they didn't rip, they didn't, they worked out great.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it.
So let's talk about what was the essential gear that we had that we're glad we had. So before, if you're thinking about doing a pig, here are some things that we would recommend that you have. For me, coming off the top of my head right now, multiple chimneys, because we were doing the rotisserie style where we had the cowboy charcoal. So we wanted to get that up to temp quicker. So as an open rotisserie spit. So we had to have multiple charcoal chimneys going.
I only had the one.
You only had the one.
But we got it. I mean, it was going. It was fine.
Yeah, but once we got there, we had to get it back up real quick.
Yeah,
so
real fast,
we had 3 up and going.
And I think we started another one almost too. So yeah, we dumped them out quickly, got another round going because again, when we were doing, it was a long. That was what, a 6 foot? Yeah, it's about a 6 foot trailer. So yeah. We had long rows of charcoal that we wanted to light up and make sure it was even too. So just kind of distributing it out throughout the whole thing to get it all lit together.
Yeah.
And Doug did provide lighter fluid, which thank you, but like that's not really we don't really use that. And if you do, hey, that's totally your choice. Awesome. We don't care. It's just not what we use. So
chimneys worked just fine as long as you give yourself enough time to get that heated up.
Yeah. So the chimney, I think too, Greg, another thing was like having the poker, right? The fire poker, like to move the coals around.
Right.
Man, it was hot.
Yeah. Having a poker or a shovel or something to be able to navigate the coals to where you need them to go once they were actually down. And then along with that, like our other set of meat gloves, the ones that we use for heat. Yeah. I have like my big welding gloves that I use to, I can just. And the gloves go up to like my elbows, so I can just dive in there and pick up those coals and move them around to where I needed them. So that's definitely a lifesaver. So highly recommend if you don't have those already for your kind of your regular barbecuing and grilling, get some really good heat insulated gloves so you can navigate the fire like that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, what was another lifesaver that we had? Spray bottles.
Spray bottle.
We spritzed quite a bit.
Yeah, have a couple of them.
We had 2 going.
2 going. And then the thermometers. So,
oh man, that was huge because
those are game changers for us because we didn't do it the last time we did a pig, and I felt just like being able to keep an eye on the internal temp. So we had just some old school meat thermometers where we stuck one into the ham or the butt. And
down by the legs,
and then one into the shoulder.
So your 2 meatiest parts,
so we could keep an eye on those temperatures because those are probably the ones that are going to cook the longest.
Then we had another Insereed one that we used for all the chickens.
Yeah, so we just to make sure we were accurate, but just having those in and seeing that temp, like we were able then to spread out the coals to where we needed them.
Yeah.
If we needed to add some more and heat this area up because it was lacking, but for the most part, we were able to keep both the shoulder and the rear around the same temp at the same time. So it
which
worked
is
out
awesome.
Really, and I know they have some wireless thermometers and stuff. We tried looking for some the day of, but we couldn't find any. But those worked well.
Again, last minute. Luckily, we found the ones that we did, and they worked out.
Yeah.
And again, it's a different style of cook, right? Because like Greg said, it's the rotisserie, so you're not closing a lid on this. You can't. You have
open air.
Yeah, you're not tracking you don't have the thermometer right there, on the top of the lid to keep track of what the temp is. So you're kind of here's what it is.
Yeah. So okay, let's get into the meat part
man,
of it,
the meat,
man.
this is
So
my
you
favorite
get
part.
you go, you pick it up, you
Yeah.
bring it back to the house because we don't have to be over to the family's house until
1:30
1:30 in the afternoon. But you picked it up early in the morning.
Yeah.
So you get it back home, you get it backed in, you get the charcoals lit. Now what are you doing?
Yeah, man. So I had to empty the truck out. And so I popped it. I got the trailer off the truck because I don't want to sit there and cook the
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to end up cooking the truck too.
Sure.
So, made sure I did make sure the trailer wasn't too heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
I moved it by myself. It's
Light
not-
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got it off and moved it, so it wasn't super close to the house, not close to the garage, not close to the truck, like, making sure that
Yeah.
nothing's going to burn down. Right. So that's safety first, right, Greg?
Sure. Safety first.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
So I kind of wasn't necessarily sure where the coals were going to be for the pig, but I just kind of set up 4 different like areas.
Yeah.
Got the chimney rolling and got each one of those going. And then I pulled the box that Doug gave us to transport it was about 6 feet too. And it's like it had 3 holes. So 2 in the top and then 1 in the bottom, just kind of like a triangle. So
Yeah.
what we did with that was when we transported, we pulled the pig and we stuck it in those holes and like it held it. So it wasn't touching anything, maybe against the side a bit, but that was perfect. It wasn't touching like the bottom of this box. So I had to get that box out first, and then I got the pig on that and then had to get it over and get it onto the spit.
Yeah.
So, and then from there I kind of moved the coals in, got them where I wanted, which, worked out great because then I ended up lighting more of the coals that, that weren't unlit still. So, probably had the coals going for about a half hour. So really started the pig around 7:30 in the morning, and it was a 75-pound pig, like I said. And all I used to spritz it was water. So since we were using that hardwood, obviously it's it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
It cooks for a while, but I thought about doing apple juice and apple cider vinegar. I thought about doing kind of some Doc soda in there too, like right away, but I really didn't want anything with sugar because it would burn the outside.
Right.
So, no, I just stuck with water.
Water.
Yep.
Keep
Stuck
it moist.
with water. Yeah. And then, I did season the outside too.
Yeah.
So I would kind of spritz it and then just throw some fire for effect or sweet heat right on the outside there. So kind of hoping that it would kind of bake into there and get into the meat a bit.
Yeah. No,
I didn't inject it at all, Greg.
No injections. We kept it simple on this one.
Yep.
You got it.
Can.
I mean, you definitely could. You can
But,
inject it.
apple juice probably
apple
would have been
juice.
fine.
Whatever type of mixture you want to do. But this one was really simple. We just seasoned the outside the skin, and then let the pig do its thing, is base itself internally and get it it moist and all that flavor that's in there already.
And it had some great fat caps on it too.
Yep.
So I think that really helped keep the meat fairly moist in there.
Yep. So you had that all going by the time I showed up. I don't start working before 9 a.m. So,
especially on a Saturday.
Yeah, especially on a Saturday.
Oof.
Overtime and a half. So I showed up and you had it all going already. Then we just kind of watched it.
We enjoyed a cigar.
Enjoyed a cigar together.
Yep.
Watched it. We were still doing prep work, like, in our mind. Like we were talking about, okay, how are we gonna do this if this happens? We kept running through scenarios in our head.
And keeping track of temp too, knowing we did some research. We watched a lot of videos on even during that time too, like how to cut it.
Yeah.
Our goal was to get it to about 170, 175
right.
for the temp and stuff. You can obviously go hotter, but then you're gonna have to kind of keep it a little bit lower and slower. But
sure.
We had a time frame, right? So it was like we knew what time we needed to pick it up and leave, and what time they kind of wanted to eat.
Yeah.
So if it was like just us doing the backyard, we could have been out
all
there
day.
It didn't matter, right?
Right.
But this one was a little bit different. So we talked through it a lot. We smoked the beans. We did those for 2 hours too on my big drum smoker too. So
yep. So we did some more prep for the food,
right? Which wasn't too bad, but I mean an added thing, added step. So yeah, man, it was kind of a lot of back and forth, getting up, making sure spritzing, checking the temp, kind of feeling it, seeing if we need to add coals, move coals.
How often do you think we added coals to at least to the pig when we were first starting it up?
So when we first started, honestly, man, I think I did about almost not quite a full bag of charcoal in the first hour.
Okay.
So and as it cooked, we kind of, we spread it out a little bit. We let it not get like down there, but, it stayed pretty even, I'd say, throughout.
Sure.
So the second hour, we didn't use, quite as much. I'd say probably like in about an hour and a half is when we went through that whole second bag. Okay. So, I mean, again, they provided all these bags of charcoal. And I think in total, we went through 7 total bags throughout the whole day.
Nice.
But, so we gave 2 back.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say like that first hour, we kind of had it like hotter, and then just kind of like, again, we had to get it going though too.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a little bit cooler at that time outside. So as it got a little bit warmer and stuff too, we maybe not quite as much, but, no, we went through total about 7 bags of charcoal. So.
Yeah. So we're spritzing it. We got the charcoal going. We got the thermometers in there. We're checking temp. We're just basically doing that until we're getting ready to pack up and leave to go over to the house. Yeah,
I've got the beans rolling. Those are interesting. We smoked those with I use hickory wood chips. So nice light smoke. And we poured like a bottle of pogey bait in there.
Sweet honey sauce.
Yeah, with a bunch of fire for effect, so sweet heat too. So man, it had such a great barbecue smell to it. Oh, and with the smoke, like it was
fantastic.
Yeah, man, it was. I'll have to ask. I'll have to reach out and see how many beans were left. Now I'm curious. Greg. Yeah. But no, so we did that. And really, I mean, we got up to temp, Greg. We got up to like 150 right before we wanted to leave and stuff. Yep. And I'd say like that was probably the hardest part too, is after that, and then we wrapped it in tin foil.
Yep. We wanted to make sure that we kind of insulated it a little bit to keep some that heat in as we were traveling. So it was a quick. It was only like 10 minutes. Away
not too bad. But it did drop. It dropped a bit.
Oh yeah.
Which was expected because we didn't get it on there right away either.
Yeah, we had to get the coals up and running.
Get the chickens on, and then the pigs. So which was awesome.
Yeah. So we transport it. We put it back into that box. We wrapped it up in some tin foil. We got it all packed up and ready to go. We had to clean out the trailer because we didn't want ashes flying all over the place as we were driving there. right. So we cleaned it out, and then we drove over. And we started setting up.
And that was another thing because this was an electric, spit. So we had to make sure we had plenty of
extension cords.
So we actually brought 2, luckily, because they wanted one that was a little bit longer, so people weren't gonna have to walk and step over it. They didn't want a tripping hazard, so it worked out. But I forgot the adapter, so luckily they had
one, and then I found another one on the trailer that I didn't know it was there. But yeah, no, it worked out. We bought they had an adapter so we could hook it up. We had a long extension cord so it could go like over the tent where people were going to be eating, so they didn't have to walk, around it or over it. So that worked out real well. We were set up right in front of the driveway, so as people were coming up, they could see the pig.
Man, how many people just walked up wow, this is amazing. Look at all this.
They just it always attracts a crowd, Ben.
It sure does. Yeah, it's definitely a big conversation piece, which was cool.
Yeah. So this was I'd say probably the most challenging piece of the cook was now we were going to get set up with the chickens and the pig at the same time on the rotisserie. So the plan going in was we were going to put the chickens on first on the bottom rotisseries, so the ones closest to the trailer, and then the pig was going to go up in the middle because it had already been cooked quite a bit.
Right.
And all we wanted to do is kind of heat it up and make sure we kind of get to that temp that we were looking for.
Yeah, and with the chickens too, I mean, they were full size. They were big. They were good size, healthy chickens.
They were whole chickens.
They were.
And the spit ran right through the middle.
Sure did. And there was 15 chickens on one spit. So you got a 6-foot spit and 15 chickens on each side. And kind of the time that we had allotted for that was, they max 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Right. I think we've pulled majority of them after about 2, just over 2 hours.
Yeah. Just over 2. Yep. And this was kind of our first time doing that many. Yep.
So with the chickens, they say too, it's like a quarter of the chicken per person.
Okay.
So that was kind of how we figured, 30. Yeah. We'll do 30 then.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, and so we didn't want to burn these right away. No. They were right down there.
And
so we kind of once we got the coals going, we we backed them up a little bit from the chicken, so they had a little chance to kind of feel it out.
Yep.
And I think maybe that took a little bit longer. If we could go back and do that again, maybe we'd put the coals a little bit closer right away. If we were on a stricter timeline, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, Greg, those things plumped up.
They were big birds.
They were, oh man, when we pulled them, they were so juicy. They were. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we could have really cooked those much better, to be honest. We spritzed those too. We spritzed them with chicken broth, unsalted, and then we rubbed down with our pop smoke, so our Memphis style. We did it right there on the spit.
Right there on the spit.
So spritz them first.
Yeah, nothing beforehand. We didn't season them before. We didn't let them sit at all. Like once we got them on that spit, we sprayed them down with that chicken broth, and then we started rubbing them down with our Memphis style rub. And I mean, they just look great right away. Yeah, nice color. And then we got them rolling, and kind of basically just watch them from there.
Heck yeah. Let people come up, talk, ask questions, which was cool. People were asking all different kinds of things about, can you eat that? Can you eat that? Like asking about the pig, and ask, can they eat the tongue, the eyeballs, the hooves, the ears? Like, so yeah, we got a lot of good questions. It was interesting, Greg.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of great questions. Again, that's kind of what we like to do too. We like to share our knowledge, that we have with people. Like obviously we don't consider ourselves experts.
limited knowledge from time to time.
But we like to share what we know. And it's always a good time talking about barbecue, and you have a pig there, and it just naturally attracts people.
Heck yeah.
You stand around it, and you talk and you watch. It's got kind of a calming effect because it's just going around and around.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kept turning, right? Like one of my neighbors stopped by when we were cooking. He was like, "Man, what are you guys getting sick of watching that thing turn?" I was like, "Oh, nope. Sit here for another 8 hours."
Yeah. Put another pig on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then over the next few hours, we were just watching temp. We were spritzing.
There was a lot more work with the chickens on.
Yeah, managing the coals. Because when you have 15 chickens on one side, not all of them are going to cook at the same temp at the same time. So we're constantly managing the fire, making sure that the ends we saw weren't cooking as well as it kind of in the middle. So we're managing the coals and moving stuff around. So I mean, that's just like now we were in the process of managing the heat and making sure like we weren't going to be there all day to and all night cooking this stuff. So we cranked it up at the end a little bit. To crisp up the skin, we pushed the coals in a little bit further in to crisp it up a little bit, but then we started pulling them, and I think
165. We went for
165.
We checked those temps quite pretty religiously.
Yeah. And not just one. I mean, we were going one end, middle, the other end to make sure that we were kind of catching a good glimpse of what they were all looking at.
And the thing too, Greg, that is, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, right? Like it's just kind of understanding, like, hey, just knowing, like, just because your middle's cooking, the end's not going to be cooking. So the middle pieces were done. So, we probably had about, I'd say, like two end chickens on each side, maybe 2 or 3 on a couple on one side, where we pulled them off. They weren't at temp. And so we set them aside, and we took all the chickens that were done and, started cutting those. But then we put those ones back on later and just put them right back up on the top rung because we ended up moving the pig down after we pulled those chickens. Yeah. Just to get that a little bit closer to heat. And then we put those chickens back on. So it's not going to be perfect, right? Like, you don't have to throw them away or don't try and serve them. Like, get out what you can. Take it off, and like again, they were already on the spit. They weren't like tied to the spit, so we just slid them right back on. Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of flexibility because we knew that the amount of chickens were done would feed the people that were there. At least get the party started, the party started where we get these other ones up to temp. So so we got most of them were up to 165. And we're like, okay, let's pull these. Yeah. And then the next step was, okay, how are we going to pull these off this rotisserie and then start sliding them off, right? Yep. So. Ben, you brought some cardboard. We did, yeah. So, if you picture, we had a table out there which was 6 feet, just a folding table, traditional 6 foot folding table, picnic style folding table, and we then needed a place to put these spits that we were taking off. Now we didn't want to melt our plastic tables, and we didn't have anything that was going to cover the entire thing.
So we improvised.
Sure did.
So Ben brought some cardboard with him, and we had some tin foil. So we cut open that box that you brought.
Yeah, which ended up being about 6 feet.
It actually ended up almost covering the entire 6 feet.
Table.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we wrapped it in tin foil. So that's what we took, and we put it on top of the table, and then we put the spits on top of that. And then we just started taking the chickens off.
Yeah, which honestly worked out perfect.
It did. It was great.
Saved us.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had the chickens. We took both the spits off with the chickens. Like Ben said, the ones at the ends probably weren't as cooked as the ones in the middle. So we took the ones at the ends, we set them aside, and then we took the ones we knew were done, and we started cutting them up. So the way we cut them up was we halved them. So I just took the shears, and then I just cut out the backbone.
Those saved us too.
Yeah, those shears were great.
And instead of like us doing a quarter, quartering the chicken, because kind of similar, like even just think about like cutting up the wings that we did the last event.
Comp,
Like, I mean, that took us a bit, right? So imagine like 30 chickens. Like, I mean,
so
we were gonna quarter them, and then it was like, hey, let's just have them. Like, which was great.
Yeah, I mean, they were so juicy and tender. Like, if somebody wanted to pull a quarter off, they could just pull it off.
It was right there. Yeah.
So
they wanted just to grab a leg and walk by.
Yeah,
it would have just.
It would just fell off anyway. So I took the shears and I just cut the backbone out, and then I just cut the breastbone down the middle. And we just halved them up and threw them in the tin. And they were just so moist and juicy, like I said. Like, you just pull it, if you wanted to pull it, you could just pull whatever, how much you want,
Yeah. We talked about doing a little bit of chicken broth down in the bottom just to help keep it moist. But, like, we ended up not even doing it. It didn't need it. So we pulled them. When we put them in the tin pan, we did about, 6 total in these tin pans?
6 total chickens.
Was it 6?
No.
6 total halves. So it would have been three
chickens,
total chickens. Yeah. And we just covered them. Then put them out there for, if people wanted to start eating, they could.
So once we took the pig was probably done, but we wanted to crisp it up a little bit. Like the skin, we wanted to crisp up because you get that nice crispy skin. You can, serve as an appetizer while you're cutting the pig. So
I don't even know if we had to serve it. It's just people coming over.
It just looks so good.
Yeah.
So we, as we were cutting the chickens and stuff, before we did that, we moved the pig down. Closer to the coals,
which was another challenge though, because then we had to stop with the chickens at times to make sure and spritz it.
Yeah, luckily we had Sam was there.
Yeah, it was his
graduation party.
He made some smoked mac and cheese.
He made some smoked mac and cheese. I heard it was to die for. I didn't get a chance to try it, but everybody was raving about it.
Yep.
So he's an up and coming grill master, smoke master. But no, it was his graduation party, and he's kind of into smoking and grilling, so that was awesome. So we just said, "Hey Sam, can you spritz that for us?" And he did it. So. But yeah, having some help there was awesome. But yeah, so we had to move that pig down because we wanted to crisp up the skin quite a bit. So as we were cutting these chickens up, the pig kept going, and once we got to a point where we had all the chickens that were done cut up and in the pans, that's when we put the ones that weren't done back up on the top rotisserie, and then we took the pig off.
Yeah, we put them right up on top. We also took advantage too, Greg, of the coals. So we used those. Sam had smoked the mac and cheese the day before, and he asked about like kind of reheating it up. And like, well, we can toss it right in the trailer, and that's what we did with the beans. Yeah, just threw them right next to those coals, kind of open the tins up just a little bit to catch a little bit of that smoke in there still, and I mean, take advantage of the room you got, right? Yeah. So that was kind of the plan with that.
Yeah, so we put. As we were finishing up the pig, we put the beans and some of his mac and cheese right on the trailer, right next to the coals, to try and heat it up. And we had the space, so why not? Yeah,
and we had the coals. I mean, it's still rolling. Yeah, so, we took advantage of it. So we got I'd say probably about 95% of the chickens we had done. Yeah, and then there was again maybe five left that
weren't cooked all the way through, so we just threw them back on.
Yeah. So pretty solid. It was. The center ones cooked great. Yeah. They had great color to them, man.
Oh, they were nice golden brown, like kind of that you would get over an open fire, man.
Yeah, like a rotisserie style that you can get at the grocery store, but like even better. I mean, it wasn't like cracking them. The skin wasn't like that. It was.
I know people like that real crispy skin sometimes, but like when you're doing it like that, like it's just kind of, it had a nice firmness to it, but at the same time, like you're not going to get something like if you deep fry it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to come off.
It's a different
it's a different type
cook, right?
of but it was still like the color was amazing.
Mhm.
Like it still had a nice firmness to it. The meat inside was nice and juicy and tender, at least from what I was seeing when I was cutting it. And like I don't think we could have asked for a better kind of cook on those chickens because they just looked and smelled great.
Yeah. So all right, so we got the chickens done for again most of the part, but then now came the pig.
The pig, yep.
And so kind of some of the stuff that we had read was like, well, let it rest. Some said don't let it rest. At that point we pulled it. I think we gave it 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes maybe. Just let it cool down a little bit. We took the spit out of it to let it rest a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you could go look out there and 10 different websites give you 10 different answers on what to do and what temp to cook to. So we kind of went with our gut. We knew it was done around 170. And it had been just heating there. Now we know we wanted to crisp the skin up, so we put it down by the coals. We took it off. The skin looked nice, and it was brown. And
you're supposed to be able to hit it.
It's supposed to be hard, kind of hard. So
Mhm.
kind of like your pork rind, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So the skin looked awesome, and
all the way through too.
All the way
from
through,
like the head all the way down to like the back of the legs and stuff. So.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better cook on that. I don't think.
Seriously, no.
So then we started digging in and we let Sam, take the first cuts. So, we gave him the knives and kind of just watched him a little bit, but let him go to town. And,
here you go, man.
Yeah. So he
went right for the shoulder.
Went right for the shoulder, opened it up, took some of those ribs out too.
Man, those ribs,
yeah. Everything was fall off the bone.
It just was falling apart, Greg. It made it so easy to shred. It was so tender and juicy still. Like, honestly, because we had talked about all right, well, maybe we'll add, maybe a touch of dock soda or a little bit of water and kind of season it a bit and stuff.
Because you see a lot of people do, like, when they open it up, they put, like, a mop sauce on there or something like that.
And so we didn't do that, man. Like, it didn't need it. It really didn't need it.
Yeah, we tried, again, when you hear us talk, we kind of let the meat speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fresh, pig. We seasoned it. We spritzed it, on the outside. We think that it was nice and juicy on the inside. Didn't need any additional kind of, moisture. So we just started pulling it apart and putting it in the pan. And, obviously when they were serving it, they had some sauce and some rubs out there if they wanted to put it on there. But for the most part, from what I heard, was that it tasted great.
Yeah, I mean, people were coming up asking if they could just try the cheeks or try, like you said, just, can I just grab a piece? Like, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, as we're cutting up and shredding, the inside, the good part about the skin crisping up is that you can start breaking it apart and people just come on and snack on it as an appetizer. And they just kept coming back. So that's how I knew it was really good. Like, people just kept saying how good it was.
Yeah.
I think it was a combination of like the smoke flavor and then the fire for effect sweet heat rub and then the dock soda, the pepper soda. So all that stuff kind of came together and people just loving it and pulling it up. And then, you started shredding it up. I kept cutting up.
Yeah.
And people kept coming up asking for the cheek because the cheek has a lot of fat in there.
Yeah. A little chewier.
A little chewier too. Yeah. It's got a lot of good, tastes almost like bacon, like bacon fat, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And some people said that like their parents used to do that. Like they used to roast a whole hog, and then their favorite part was the cheeks. So so brought tender. Back some memories for some people.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then I just was chunking it up and serving it out as I was kind of continuing to chop up the hog. And then I mean, from that point on, it was more kind of okay, we're ready to serve.
Sure.
And let's start maybe cleaning up a little bit and seeing what else they need. But I think overall, great cook.
Yeah, heck yeah.
The pork was just falling off everywhere. I
just
could just
pull
it out, pull the bones out of there.
And it was just coming right off the bone too. I mean, the bones were just clean.
Yeah.
Like,
still juicy.
If we probably would have left it on for another 15 minutes, probably would have just fallen.
It would have fallen off the spit.
But no, it was not. I mean, it wasn't that one. So but I
got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
but God, I mean, Greg, it'll be one of those cooks. Like, I just remember forever. Like, I was nervous coming into it, man.
Yeah,
But,
I couldn't tell.
No, good. Held it together for you. So it's all confidence,
that's what that whiskey does for you, huh?
See, stone cold sober all day. No, it was it was a good cook, man. It really was great day overall. Great day.
Yep.
It was a great day.
The guests were awesome. Got to interact quite a bit.
Yeah.
Overall, this is, again, when we talk about everything just kind of was working out and coming up was like that was one of those cooks where it's like everything was just going perfectly. Even though we ran into some things, we had to call some audibles throughout the day.
Sure.
Nothing set us back and kept us off track. We're like, oh man, this is terrible. Like It was just like, okay, let's just do this then, and we'll get through it. Yeah. And that's kind of what you have to do. That's
the fun part too, right? Yeah. Greg, it's like it's a game. It just kind of what's it gonna throw at you now?
Yeah. And then, like I said, like this was way better than the first time we did a pig.
So it was
night and day difference. So like I said, like you're never gonna know until you try. So if you've never done one before, hey man, the only way you're going to learn how to do a good one is, to get out there and do your first one. So, definitely worth it. I'll probably say like this was probably one of, or the second of many that we're going to do. So
let's hope so.
It was good.
I hope they all go this well, Greg.
That's what you hope, hopefully it gets a little bit easier each time too.
Yeah. But no, I based on that cook, I would definitely do it again.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, we don't do too many private events like that, but maybe we'll have to start doing it because it went so well.
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, it was a fun day, man. It really was. We got lucky. The weather was awesome. Again, Greg said like the people we were there with were great.
Fantastic.
All the guests, the family that we were cooking for, and then everybody was. It was. We really couldn't ask for a better.
Yeah.
Day. Like everything worked with the butcher block. I mean, again, I can't say enough about their staff. Like. Check them out.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're more than happy to tell you or give you a little bit of our insight. I don't know. That's
I mean, the one thing that hit me though when I came home, I was talking to my wife about it, how I was going, and for me, and I think for you too, sometimes it's just like this is what we do, right? This is kind of like no big deal. We'll figure it out. But she's like, how impressive that is that you guys cooked a whole pig and 30 chickens and served it to people.
It's a big deal, man.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I never stopped and thought about it that way. It's just kind of what we do.
I thought about it a bit, man. Like it set me back. I was at a wedding the night before.
Yeah, you were cranking it up all night long, and then you get
no, absolutely not. But it was a good time. That was a good time. But I had to leave a little bit early because I told him, I was like, we got a busy day tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're doing a pig and 30 chickens. Everyone's like, oh my god, you do that really that much food? I was like, yeah, heck yeah. Like, you do that a lot? I'm like, no.
First time.
Here we go, though. Here we go. We're, and I think that's the fun part, Greg. Right. Again, like you get those opportunities, and you have two choices, right? And we chose to give it a shot, and I'd say, we definitely do it again.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely got to try and embrace it. Like, we know we don't know everything. And,
no, we don't pretend to.
Right, and we know that like we have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone if we're going to continue to grow. Like kind of in the space of barbecue and grilling. So always willing to try something new and let you all know how it goes. This was one of the ones that went real well.
It sure was.
So I'm glad we did it. And maybe we'll do it again. But who knows what we're going to do next. Like I said, like I never thought I'd be doing a gator,
that's true.
Being a part of that, even though like, we weren't necessarily the forefront of it, but like
just be there
and see it and go through that process. Mm-hmm. 30 whole chickens and a pig on a rotisserie, serving a party. I never thought I'd be here. So who knows what's going to happen next. We'll just continue to share what we learn and what happens, but no, appreciate it.
I know what's next, Greg.
Oh, you do?
I'm going whole cow.
Whole cow, okay. Whole cow stuffed with a goat. Stuffed with a pig. Okay,
with
got
chicken
you.
Too.
Yeah, with a chicken inside.
Yeah.
That'll take like 48 hours.
No, it's like a week long. No, but even last year, man, like I kind of started like a bucket list of things like that I wanted to do or accomplish, and I had a pig on my list last year, and it's like I never would have thought we would have done a pig and 30 chickens. Like it just, which is cool. Like again, it was just a great opportunity, and so I'd say if you get a chance, take advantage of it.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like we were asking questions and doing research for months before we actually did this thing. There's no right or wrong answer. I mean, you're gonna get a bunch of different answers no matter where you look. So a lot of times you just gotta get out there and do it and then see what works for you. But no, it was a great cook. Thanks for setting it up, Ben. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Anytime. Glad you were there. I don't think I could have done it by myself. That would have been rough by yourself, I think.
No, good. All right, man. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We talked a lot about kind of what we would have, what we would do next, like, as far as like what kind of equipment maybe we would need, and how the cook went, some things that helped us. Anything else to add to kind of wrap this one up, Ben?
Yeah, I'd say like, the longer you can plan and prep in advantage, like the better, right?
Yeah.
And if even if you don't have somebody who necessarily cooks, have somebody there who can like help you with like,
right,
even just moving stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to pull a chicken off a spit. Right. So just to kind of have like that, like that teamwork.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes it a lot funner too when you got somebody there. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was,
more fun, or is that
more fun?
More fun?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. We're not English majors either.
Oh, well,
so.
You never know. Okay, well, no, yeah, you're definitely right. Having somebody there to help you with like kind of moving stuff, and just having somebody there to kind of talk to, right?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Even if they don't know how to do it, like they might have different ideas for you on like what you're looking to accomplish. So,
or even just like anybody can grab a bottle and spritz a pig or something.
Oh
for you. So like kind of having that a teammate there, a good buddy, spouse, whatever. I mean, whatever you got.
Get some cigars, get the tunes going.
Yeah.
Just hang out and see what happens, man. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself because, that's, it happens, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it absolutely happens and stuff. But that's the fun part. And it's about learning. And like Greg said, I mean, that was a big step for us. Possibly a game changer with our company. Who knows?
You see another sidearm to Burn Pit BBQ aside from the rubs and sauces and funny apparel that we have on the website.
There's always the possibility, right, Greg? So, you just kind of never know like what you're gonna run into or who you're gonna meet at these events.
Yeah.
So
good time getting out there. So this one, I think we're wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
Got any plans coming up here to cook?
Man, no. I haven't
thought too much. You've just been processing what happened over the weekend.
It just the main focus has been on the pig for the past couple of weeks now, especially the week kind of leading up to it, making sure we were set and prepped and what can go wrong,
right?
All that. So no, I haven't really thought too much about it yet. But I'll do something. But anyway, this week, starting Wednesday through Sunday, we will be out at Rib Fest in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. So
that's July 13th through the 17th, I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so we'll be out there at Elkhorn, Wisconsin at Rib Fest. We're not cooking it at all. We're
not this
week. We'll be out there as a vendor selling our rubs and sauces. We'll have some stuff open if you're out there, if you want to sample some stuff. But it's always a good time, again, like these events, getting out there, meeting people that love barbecue as well, sharing what we do and some of our products. We love talking, getting ideas from you all that come out there. So if you are going to be out there at Rib Fest in Elkhorn, stop by our booth. I think we're going to be right by the main entrance again.
Okay.
Where you have to walk through to get to the park. So we'll be inside there. Look for us. Stop by. Say hi. If you listen to the podcast, we appreciate that. But we'll be out there. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So again, just come on over. Just talk to us. Let us know what any kind of cooks you got coming up, and hopefully we can help you season it. Yeah.
And then not one last, but another reminder, like we got our annual barbecue competition coming up. We're going to be raising money for Lift for the 22, which is a nonprofit organization that gives gym memberships to first responders, military veterans, and families like that at Explorium Brew Pub September 4th. So we want to get 20 teams out there. I think we currently have 7 or 8 teams signed up, so we're about halfway there. It's $125 right now if you sign up, and your registration includes your space, 10 by 10 space. It includes 4 racks of baby back ribs, and then also I think 3 pounds of sausage. So you're going to cook those up. We're going to have some guest judges out there. We're going to have people coming out from the community to taste test and raise money for, Lift for the 22. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, or if you want to travel to the Milwaukee area September 4th, go out to our website, burnpitbbq.com, and search for the barbecue competition. We'd love to see you out there. Bring a bunch of friends with you, just have a good time as we raise money for an awesome veteran organization. So again, we're doing that September 4th. We'd love to see you out there, but other than that, we got a lot of other stuff going on this summer, and we're looking forward to share that more with you, maybe next podcast. But anything else, Ben, before we sign off here?
Yeah, the weather's awesome, so get out and grill.
Get out and grill. Words to live by.
Yeah. Take some time to get away for a bit and just enjoy a good cook, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, again, Ben, thanks for setting up that pig. I appreciate it. You did a lot of the work, man. And hopefully we continue to do that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, happy it worked out, man.
Yeah, me too.
What a good day, huh?
What a good day.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you all.
Yeah,
take it easy.
Bye.